Now, when you are decluttering, should you eat that frog? That is to say, when you are decluttering, should you start with the hardest place first? Well, yes and no. It kind of depends on a couple of things, so let's explore that. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Robyn. Grab your tea and let's go. Oh, and did I mention you are looking amazing? Have you done something with your hair? So there are a few questions that go into where you should start. Should you start with the hard thing? Should you start with the easy thing? One of them, do you have ADHD or not? I'll get more into that in a second, but it all kind of comes down to focus and overwhelm. We also need to know what areas are stressing you out the most. If you don't tackle them first, is that going to really get you down? Maybe you need an easy win. A lot of people need an easy win when they are starting to declutter. So let's chat frog versus cupcake versus salad. Now this is an analogy. It'll make sense in a second. Now, cupcake is easy. It's easy to eat a cupcake and it leaves you feeling okay after. It would kind of be like doing your counter or your junk drawer. You know, you get that easy win. You're happy you had a cupcake. It's good for completely overwhelmed people who just need something to feel good about once they start decluttering. The second thing is the salad. Like your dining room or your laundry room, if they're not completely full, because they might be, it's an area that it takes a bit of time and you will feel great after you're done. You've done something amazing for yourself and you feel good. You just had a salad. Now, the third thing is the frog. Now, the frog is your monster. This is the thing that is daunting you the most. Maybe it's your garage, your closet, maybe it's your kitchen. It's something really specific to you. I can't decide what it is for you. You know what it is. But let's get into a couple of things here. What kind of person are you? Do you have ADHD? Or you find focus really hard? I myself really have trouble focusing. I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but my family, most of them have it. And I get it. You get overwhelmed and you just find it hard to even focus on anything. You get bored quickly and you need those dopamine hits. You need those wins. I say you start with your cupcake. You start with the easy win. You do your junk drawer. You do your countertops. You do your bathroom. Anywhere that is not going to take too long, but you're going to feel great about after. Somewhere that you can walk by and be like, yes, I am so happy I did that. Yay me, I am so good. And then you get that dopamine hit and you feel good and you can keep going. Now, not everybody is going to feel great when they start doing that. So maybe you are a working gal, you are a weekend warrior, you don't find focus that hard, but your time is available to you more in chunks and you actually can devote a little bit of time. Now, for me, I often recommend people only do about 30 minutes at a time, especially when they are starting. But not everybody finds that they need that. In my Simplify Your Home course, a lot of people, they say, no, like I'm good. I can just spend like a couple of hours on something. My thing is I don't want people being overwhelmed and having a bad taste in their mouth from the actual decluttering process. So if you are that weekend warrior type, your focus isn't terrible, you're motivated to make a big change, or maybe you've already had a couple of quick wins and you are ready for that salad. So I say start with that. Start with like maybe your dining room or your laundry room, an area that's maybe a little bit more involved. I'm not saying do it all in one day. I'm just saying maybe over the weekend you could, spend an hour here one day and an hour here the next day. And it's something where you will come back to, because that is the thing. A lot of people, in particular people with ADHD, focus problems, procrastination issues, they will have trouble going back to something, which is why it's good to get that win where you can get something done in one decluttering session. If you don't have focus problems and you're like, no, I can come back to it, even if it's, say you can only declutter on the weekend, you're like, no, I'm going to do some on Saturday, half an hour, 45 minutes on Saturday, same on Sunday, and maybe a couple of times throughout the week, and then you can come back to it on the weekend. Then I say, go ahead, start with your salad. So your salad, again, is a room that is not completely chock-a-block full and completely overwhelming, but it is like a pretty substantial meal. It's something that you need to do, and it's not as easy as your cupcake, for example. That brings us to the frog. Should you start with your frog? Now, your frog is the area that overwhelms you the most. I do not recommend this for a lot of people. Even myself, I am the type of person, like I said, I do have trouble with focus sometimes, but I'm also very motivated to get things done. I plan things, I do them if they're on my list. However, I still recommend a lot of people get those quick wins under their belt. But if you are the type of person where you're like, no, I am a go-getter, I am motivated, I'm gonna get this done, and you have your garage and it is completely stressing you out, and you are like, no, I'm going to deal with this. Or a lot of people, they have like their kitchen, and you know, the kitchen is a funny room because sometimes there isn't a lot of sentimental things in there. So if you are the sentimental type who has trouble letting things go, the kitchen can be a good place to start, even if there's a lot to do there. But if you have the focus and the determination, you know, the motivation, then starting in the kitchen isn't the worst idea, because you can get massive wins out of there. You can feel so good that you've got so much done, but at the same time, it is a big thing to do. So if you are that type of person who is overwhelmed easily, don't start with your kitchen. Don't start with your garage. The garage and storage rooms can seem kind of funny because they do have some things that are really easy to go through, but then you will come into a lot of the I could use it one day items. And those are the items where you feel like you need to hang on to them because you just see that they probably will be useful in the future, or that they could be useful in the future. And then it's really hard to let go. So when you are first starting out, don't start with a hard room if you have focus problems. But if you're motivated and determined and you're like, no, I can get this done, then I think that it is a great place to start. So are you a frog, a cupcake, or a salad person? Let me know in the comments below. I bet most of you are cupcake and maybe a little bit of salad. Now check out this video for how to start decluttering. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.